Never tell yourself I can't do this. Just be realistic. I can do this, and I just might not do it well.
Yes.
And that's okay, because you're still doing it.
Raising a well-behaved child in this world requires strict discipline and punishment. Today, we will look...
No, we will not.
Hello and welcome to Childproof. I'm Tori Phantom.
And I'm Gwenna Lathland.
And today's episode is sort of a collection of mini-sodes, kinda.
Yeah, like it's stuff that we want to talk about, or stuff that we said that we were going to talk about, or stuff that we ask you to email us about, but none of the single things like would make a full you get like a 5-minute episode and be like, all right, bye.
It's kind of like a mini-sode, but it's not like a mailbag episode, because like there's gonna be some stuff from the email, but it's not.
It's a little bit of all of the above.
Yeah,
like sometimes we ask them, and then other times it's just things that we said that we were going to talk about.
Like as we mentioned, the whole summer transition thing. So we've got that all worked out now, and it's gonna look different from here. But
like we've been teasing at the end of the episodes, like this announcement that's coming. It's coming, and we've been working on it.
And it's not gonna be different on Childproof, but kind of on Childproof. It's complicated.
Like,
okay,
there's some things coming, and so if it feels like we've been doing a shit ton of minisodes and mailbags, and
there's a reason for it, but it's not going to stay that way. It's just like in the transition period. Did you know it? Just start the timer. So we wanted to start this week with actually bringing up something we did weeks ago. We said we were going to do a minisode specifically on jokes after our joke episode, and then we didn't do that.
We didn't do that. Now we have gone through and fished through the email and found all the jokes that we could find. If we missed yours, don't think we thought it was crappy. Yeah. Just know that we love our listeners, and our listeners love us back. So our email box is not at all maintained. So there's always like 1,000 of them unread at all times.
And the problem is that I, as the producer, am also the one in charge of the emails, and
I don't even remember the email address 90% of the time.
Yeah, and so the thing is, I shouldn't
childproofmail@gmail.com.
You did it! Hooray! I shouldn't be the one in charge of the email, but I am working on it. Okay, like my personal emails, I have 24,441
Your personal
emails
it makes inappropriate parts of me itch, like in the worst way. It is not. No,
so I'm working on it though. I am managing Childproof
one time, and the little red bubbles immediately made my eye twitch because they're fucking everywhere. Tori's phone is mostly red bubbles, and I cannot.
I have 367 unread texts, 66 missed calls. And that's just two of the things. Okay, like I'm a mess, but I am managing the Childproof email better.
There are no red bubbles on this.
I'm managing the Childproof email.
There's 13 red bubbles on the news app because I don't want to open it and read the icky news.
That's valid. That's valid. I am managing the Childproof email slightly better. So there's that. But let's get into the jokes, because we did promise we'd do it. So we're just going to kick it off with that. And I've got a joke for you. Are you ready, Gwenna?
Ready.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know. Why?
I'm not a mind reader. Ask the chicken.
What is long, brown, and sticky?
What?
A stick.
Okay. What did Abraham Lincoln's lawyer say to the court?
Hats off.
He's innocent, like in a cent, because he's on the penny. Get it?
In a penny, yeah.
It's funnier when I explain it.
Why didn't the teddy bear eat dessert?
Why?
He was stuffed. That one was from Emma.
What's the difference between toilet paper and dining room curtains?
I don't know.
So you're the one who did it. Okay. I have another one for you. I really liked this one. Okay. A French cat and an English cat were racing across the river. The English cat was called 1, 2, 3, and the French cat was called 1, 2, 3. Which cat won the race?
The English one, because the French cat quatre cinq.
You weren't supposed to know the answer. and to anyone who doesn't know how to count in French, and also
you
hasn't
think
seen,
I knew my French numbers.
Well, of course you know your French numbers. You've seen Hamilton. So if you don't speak French or have seen Hamilton, where they count to 9 a lot in French, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in French. So it's I'll explain it more if it'll make it funnier.
No, I'll just move on. This is why people think I'm mean to you. Why didn't the pony sing?
Why?
It was a little hoarse.
What did the drummer name his identical twin daughters?
What?
Anna 1, Anna 2.
Thanks, I hate it. Why do birds sit on eggs?
Why?
They don't have any chairs. Those were awful. Thanks for that.
I love those jokes. We should do this more often, honestly.
I hate the jokes. They're bad, and I love them because they are bad.
Yeah, send us more jokes. We'll start a segment every now and then. We'll do a joke roundup because I enjoy these.
You know what? We're gonna do a grown up jokes. Send us not just your kid jokes. Send us your grown up jokes too.
Yes.
And we'll do a childproof joke episode so you can tell your grown-up friends the terrible dad jokes. So they don't have to be kid-focused. They can be funny for adults.
Yes, definitely.
All right. So, Tori, we have, since we're doing a whole bunch of things of stuff that we said that we were going to do and then didn't, I owe you 5 minutes of rapt attention.
You do.
I owe you 5 minutes of rapt attention.
Yes.
What episode was that on?
That was kind of over a few episodes. I think that we determined I won on Childproof Hills. So several weeks ago, again, Gwenna and I entered a bet because Gwenna's daughter was headed to prom the day before Easter. And Gwenna thought that she should pick after prom or brunch, and that if she didn't pick one or the other, it was just going to be a bad time. And I said, no, because your daughter has the benefit of youth on her side. So we entered into a bet, and whoever won the bet, which is whether the youthful child could manage doing so much with so little sleep or not.
She managed just fine.
She did.
And now I owe Tori 5 minutes of ranting.
Yes.
That
was the stakes of the bet, was a 5-minute info dump where the other one has to be interested. We're going to see Gwenna's acting skills here. So.
All right. So you get 5 minutes. I have here a visual timer.
All right.
We're going to set to 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right. What's your topic of choice here?
Benjamin Rush.
Benjamin Rush. Who was Benjamin Rush?
Did the timer start?
The timer is going now.
Okay. So Benjamin Rush is a founding father that most people have not heard of, or if they have, they've just heard his name. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I've mentioned Benjamin Rush to you before.
You have mentioned Benjamin Rush. I was paying attention. He was a gossipy.
He was a gossip, yeah. And
gossipy little goose. We love a gossipy goose.
But he was also an incredible person. So to just give you some quick notes on him, he kind of founded modern psychiatry. Prior to Benjamin Rush, people with mental illness were treated even more horribly than anything you've ever heard.
I was going to say, it didn't get a whole lot better after Benjamin Rush, I don't feel, but like maybe incrementally better.
It didn't get a whole lot better, but prior to Benjamin Rush, people with mental illness were chained to the floor on like piles of straw. Like that was just how they would stay, which
nice
shockingly,
and human behavior. Good.
Often in the basements of hospitals, like they were just kept away, no windows, nothing. It's very, very horrible, and he saw this as incredibly inhumane because it was. And so he managed to open up the first like psychiatric wing of a hospital, and he had all of his ideas for how to treat them, which were barbaric and didn't really help. So I do want to include that. It's not like he had these profound ideas on how to help folks with mental illness, but he did see them still as people who deserved help. He was the first person.
You know, if we're burying the bar under the dirt, if you can get it onto the dirt, you're doing better. You just still have a long way to go.
Yes, exactly. And he was the first person to say that mental illness was, in fact, an illness of the body and the mind, and that it wasn't just, you know, hysteria. And in addition to that, he was the first one to see addiction as an illness. And he actually helped to open the first rehab. Now, they didn't call it that at the time, but it was literally for people who were struggling with addiction and alcoholism, which was separate from just the you know, psychiatric wing. And he also was the first proponent of vaccines. He had wrote a letter to George Washington during the Revolutionary War, because they weren't exactly vaccines. It was like smallpox you could get an inoculation, which was the predecessor to vaccines. And he had wrote a letter to George Washington, and he said, hey, if you don't inoculate all of the Southern troops before they head north for the next year's campaign, they're all going to die. Like, he was like,
they're all going to get smallpox, and then you're not going to have an army anymore.
Yeah. So he managed to get all of the troops inoculated for smallpox. So those are some really great things he did. And at the same time, the man had so much drama in his life. Oh my goodness.
Again, we love a gossipy little goose.
Yes. And I'll say, like, one of my favorite facts about him, which is so bizarre. So do you know John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, they died on the same day, which was like the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, right? Now, what you might not know. Yeah,
like the most American deaths. They're like, bitch, we're gonna race,
right? But the two of them had this huge conflict in their life, right? Like they, Adams and Jefferson, they had stopped talking for years and years. But Benjamin Rush was great friends with the both of them, and he is the reason they ended up like resolving their issues and becoming friends again. And one of the reasons why is because he and John Adams were like besties. They would send each other all these letters, even like just recounting dreams they had. And Benjamin Rush had a dream that he shared in a letter to John Adams that said, I had a dream reading a modern history book, like a history book of this year. And it told me that you and Jefferson will become friends again. And the most interesting thing about this dream is he said that they would die on the same day. They would die at the same time.
For the guy who was sort of on the forefront of modern psychology or modern psychiatry and sort of moving the needle.
Psychology too, yeah.
Moving the needle on what mental health was viewed as and how it was handled. A dude to be like, listen, also semi-prophetic dreams. Let's go.
No, like it is the wildest. He literally was like, no, this history book in my dream that was read to me said that you will die at the same time and that you will become friends again. And
be friends again.
Isn't that wild?
That was your 5 minutes.
I'm really mad because I didn't even get to the drama.
However, I want to do this again. We should do this again.
We should do this again. Can I just tell you the drama with Hamilton? It's real quick.
No, you cannot tell me the drama for Hamilton because the bet was for 5 minutes. However, when we finish this episode, we're going to stop this recording. We're going to wrap it up and you get to finish telling me about Benjamin Rush and we will post it as a bonus exclusively on YouTube and Spotify video.
Sounds good.
If we can do that both.
I think we can.
Okay.
I think we can. We'll figure it out. If not, it'll just be on YouTube.
Okay. All right.
That 5 minutes was, I spoke extra fast. I don't know if you noticed that. I was like, I'm going to get all this into 5 minutes.
No, but what cracks me up is I was scrolling and every time I need my singular gold star, not multiples of them, a singular gold star, because I know how to play this game. I need my singular gold star, a regular size one, for not sending you every video I ever spot of Alexander Hamilton, like the musical Hamilton.
I don't want you to have a gold star. Please start sending them to me.
No, because I know that you've already seen them. There's no possible way, because in some cases we have discussed this and like there's no possible way that you didn't see it. So like I do not send you every Hamilton video, but I am also amazed at how many people are making Hamilton videos, because when I was growing up a theater kid, first of all, we didn't have the internet like we have it now. Second, no, half of these kids would not have been caught dead making videos about musical theater, especially musical theater American history figures who rap. But rap Broadway style, which is not to shit on Debbie Diggs spitting it, but like Broadway rap is not the same as hip hop rap and R&B rap and pop rap.
Oh, did you see the video? Did you see the video?
Probably.
Where this child was able to ask Lin-Manuel some questions. If you didn't see this, I'm going to send it to you later. And we could post a link in the description because this was so cool to see, though I'm just going to tell you what it says, so you don't really need to see it. This child had asked Lin how he talks so fast at his songs. How do you do that? And Lin like explains this higher level songwriting thing. And he says that he avoids the letter H because when you say H, you're letting out a lot more air. And so he avoids the letter H as much as possible because then you can get in more words without needing to take a breath. And I was like, wait a second. And so then I listened to, I was considering Guns and Ships, right? Because like that's my favorite song to sing along with. And because he knows what to do in the trench, ingenuitive and fluent in French, right? Like there's no H's
there.
Yeah.
Not like a verbalized.
Right. Like
obviously there's H's like in the letters like French, but
the first part of that song, there's one H in the word horse, but it's I'm taking this horse by the reins, making red coats redder with bloodstains. Like not like you can go so fast because they're easier words to say.
Yeah, and when you open on an H, a lot of times dialecticals allow you to skip over the H and just go orse, and most people will follow you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
sorry, we totally derailed there, but I was just
I'm very excited because I might be getting a theater kid.
Hi, hello, it is I, Tori. Sorry to interrupt your childproof experience. I'm just here to let you know that you're about to see a merchandise commercial that you've seen before, unless you haven't, in which case you haven't seen it before. Also, yes, my hair has changed since we recorded the episode.
Merch. Childproof merch. Childproof merchandise. Childproof merch. Childproof merch. We have merch. Childproof has merch. Childproof podcast has merchandise. Childproof merch. Childproof merch. Merch doesn't sound like a word anymore. Childproof have merch. Childproof. That's enough commercial.
Now back to the show.
My oldest child is nothing like me in many ways. In many ways, she is exactly like me. We are both chaos personified. We are chaotic good human beings. Mm-hmm. It is genetic at this point, as well as learned behavior. Like we're just feeding off each other at all times. But she is nothing like me. My youngest, however, seems to be showing a proclivity to being the theater child. Now, I need to be clear. I am not upset that my oldest child is nothing like me. It has just been fascinating to figure out how to parent a kid who is the opposite of you.
Yes. Yeah, I feel that.
Like, I know what to expect from the theater kid stuff. And there's going to be a 30 some odd year gap, but
I'll tell you too, though, that there are like, and I know you know this in other categories, there are like upsides and downsides to sharing the interest with your kid. Yes. And because here's the thing is that I will always give my mom credit for my love of theater. Like that was my introduction from a young age. Like my first Broadway show on Broadway.
We're going to need to build in like a little celebration sound because you just mentioned your mom and we don't need the trauma dump button.
Let's see. Wait, no, that was the wrong button. I know I have like a sparkle sound, but that was kind of... I'm never going to figure out what these buttons are on purpose because this is funny. every time I try to use one that isn't trauma dump, it makes it better. So,
but anyway, random wheel squeaking sounds about your mom.
No, that was crickets chirping.
Was that?
So,
appropriate.
I saw my first on Broadway show was Rent. I was 9, so it was a little over my head, but obviously it created a lifelong love. But I have always been obsessed with theater. My kids were like born with the lyrics to every Rent song just onboarded, like it was like osmosis or something. I don't know. But I have always been into theater. And so my kids have always been exposed, and all of them are kind of theater kids to different levels, like different degrees of it. And my eldest really likes to sign up just to do Tech Week. Like that is their participation in theater, is they want to do Tech Week and they want to do tech, which is like makes sense because this kiddo is an artist. But like Tech Week that's what you want to do. That's interesting.
That's
like
you chose this on purpose. Okay. I support it. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Because all the theater kids can't go be theater kids if someone's not turning on the lights.
Yeah. And it's a fun thing that I get to share with my kids because I have a season pass. I get 2 tickets to every Broadway show that comes to my local touring place. Like that is my gift to myself every year, which means I get to pick which kid gets to go to which show, or this one's not for kids at all, but it's a cool way to share that with my kids. And
take the 7-year-old to Book of Mormon.
Yeah. Oh man. But it is a fun thing.
Death
and I feel like
her.
my my youngest, I think, is going to be my most theater kid. Though my middle is maybe, we'll see, because she really loves theater, but my youngest wants to perform.
Yeah.
So it's, but then they don't like the same shows.
Do you have the karaoke machine in your house?
No.
Oh, we made the mistake of getting our burgeoning little theater kiddo karaoke machine. It hooks up to Bluetooth, and she figured out within the first 10 minutes something I didn't even know it could do. She can use the Apple Assistant, whose name I don't want to say because it'll activate and try to start doing stuff. She figured out how to use the Apple Assistant to Bluetooth songs to the karaoke machine, so she can just do that at will now. And
that's fun. Yeah.
At the age of 6, the only acceptable volume is maximum.
Yeah.
And then after you crank it you have to scream into the microphone.
See, we do karaoke, but we don't do it with a microphone. We just kind of do karaoke at home on the TV. So thank you for the advice to not get the machine.
Not get the microphone. Don't do that.
Yeah.
The machine came with the microphone, and I did not. I forgot to remove that from the packaging when we gave it to her for Christmas.
Yeah.
So that was my bad.
That was, I had to recently, my kid and their bestie, they signed up for the talent show, and they picked the most niche indie song ever. Yeah. And they're like, this is the song we're going to do, but you can't do the talent show for the school. Like you can't have the song with the vocals on it. Right.
Yeah.
There was no karaoke version of this song.
Yeah.
So obviously I was like, well, of course, obviously the song was Ukulele Forward. It's a weird niche indie song, and I like it. I like the song, and I play like every instrument. And my only problem is I'm like technologically inept. I mean, you know that. How many issues have I caused on our podcast? So I just had to learn how to use GarageBand, and I created the track for them, and then I had to figure out how to send it to them because, again, apparently I don't know how to use like Google Drive. I don't know. But that's how do you handle the songs with the kids? Do your kids get stuck on repeat?
They do get stuck on repeat. I completely use the self as metric. I will listen to the song on repeat until I can't take it anymore. And then I'll go just a little bit further. Once I reach my limit, we'll go a little bit further. And then I'll be like, all right, you get one time of the song. And then we're going to listen to either more of the album or more of the artist. But when we get in the car, we will play the whistle song. And then we have to be done with the whistle song for the remainder of the car ride.
What is the whistle song?
Yes, I'm a mess. by AJR.
Oh, okay.
So I just need you to know, as we get into Tori being like, I actually suck at technology. I had too many tabs open on my computer, and the program we used to record our podcast was like, no, I can't work under these conditions, and then just stopped. So
I'm done.
Neither of us are good at our own jobs. Just know that. So next time you think like your imposter syndrome is going to be like, I can't possibly do this. Tori and Gwenna have a freaking podcast together. We don't know how to operate any of this.
Listen, never tell yourself I can't do this. Just be realistic. I can do this, and I just might not do it well.
Yes.
And that's okay because you're still doing it.
So
where were we?
We were talking about Yes, I'm a Mess by AJR is called the whistle song because it opens with like this little whistling section that I'm not going to whistle because my microphone will get mad and it sounds ugly.
Yeah.
It will hurt everybody's ear. My bigger challenge is not with the songs on constant loop. My bigger challenge is when my kids, I don't enjoy censorship. I enjoy cataloging for age appropriateness. I enjoy filtering, waiting until we're ready to address these topics or have the wherewithal to not like spit curse words out because there's curse words in the song. And listen to a song that has the N-word in it, but know that even when you're alone in your room, you just go,
you don't say that. You don't
say
it.
that. Mm-hmm. That's for them to say, not for us to say. So like when we get there, then sure, absolutely. But right now, my 6-year-olds, if they memorize the song and the N-word's in there, that's coming out because they don't have the discernment to go, oh, that particular word is a not okay word for me. Yeah. They don't have that discernment. So we're not there yet. So we don't listen to songs with those lyrics. It's not quite censorship. It's just censorship for age appropriate.
Well, yeah. It's just here's when... it's like anything else. We're not going to show our kids a horror movie right now because not right now. We need to have the cognitive ability to understand all of these things. Yeah.
But it also means, especially with my oldest, she has wandered into genres and music that I plainly do not care for. I do not think it is bad.
It's just not for you.
It's just not for me. It's not my vibes. And so when my daughter ran into the room so excited because she found this country artist, she's like, I love this country artist. Listen to this song. And we listened to it. I'm like, oh, okay, good. She goes, do you love it? I love that you love it. And then she was so upset. Because what do you mean you don't love it? I was like, I am never going to love this type of music. I love that you love it. Yeah. She has since gone to this artist's concert. It was her first concert without mom. She was so excited. She and a friend went to this concert. And she was like, well, let me listen. Let me let you listen to a different part of the album. No, babe. No, you show me your favorite song and I will absolutely do my best to find everything I could possibly love about it. But babe, I'm never going to enjoy this. I can't say never. I am probably not going to enjoy the same things. That is okay. And she wanted to get upset about it. I was like, how much do you like Fall Out Boy? She goes, I like Fall Out Boy. Okay. Be honest with me right now. How much do you like Fall Out Boy? They drive me absolutely bonkers because you play them too much. Okay.
There you go.
We're at the same spot. Do you think I play this too much? That's not what I said. And
that's not what I said. That's not what I said. Yeah. So I think I've talked about this before, but every time that we get in the car, I will let my kids, like, they get to pick the music. So what we do is we set up a queue and we kind of take turns with who gets to put the song in next. And, like, the kids are really good at keeping track of who started the queue the last time we got in the car.
Yeah.
And so every now and then, right? And this is especially when we're talking about like mornings on the way to school. If I woke up and I'm not feeling good or I'm just like having a hard morning, but I've kept it together, that is like the only time we will get in the car and I'm like, okay, you guys set up the queue, but not this song today. Yeah. I can't do this one today. Right not this one. And they're pretty good about that. And my eldest is a very much on repeat song type of person, which is fine because like same. But I have a thing.
My eldest is luckily playlisting. So she'll play one playlist, but that playlist is like 3 hours long. So every 3 hours I hear the same songs.
I'm more of a playlist person. Now and then I get a song where I'm like, I'm gonna listen to this one 10 times in a row, and maybe I'll put another song in the middle so I can get excited to hear the other one again. I'm
stuck on Lost Boy by Ruth B right now.
My rule is, if you are in your bedroom listening to the song on repeat, go ahead and keep it on repeat. But if you leave your bedroom and you leave your door open and the song is still on repeat, go pause it until you're back in your room listening to it on repeat.
We use Spotify Family, which means that we can jump around from each other's profiles on one of our phones. It's on the TV, but so if you're controlling it from the phone, if I'm on the TV, I can navigate over, switch profiles. And I rearranged a playlist because my daughter had walked out of the room, walked out of the house, left it playing loud than I normally allow, but the littles were gone. They were over with the grandparents. I was like, all right, go ham, listen to your music as loud as you want. I don't care. It's not bothering me. I'm on the other side of the house and I've got noise canceling headphones. Cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But she walked out. She left. 30 minutes later, this playlist that I do not like is still from the other side of the house. The noise canceling are not doing their job anymore. So I go in and I rearrange the entire playlist. She gets back. She realizes that the playlist is out of order. And I'm
just shocked that she listens to a playlist in an order. Like,
I know.
Who doesn't shuffle a playlist?
No, it's a mood playlist. So she built this playlist to go along with a movie. So as she's listening to this playlist, she's thinking about the movie Twisters. It is her personal Twisters.
Gotcha.
And she really liked that movie. So it's her personal Twisters. So as she's listening to it, she's remembering all the feelings from the movie. So it has to be in a certain order. Mm-hmm. So I messed it up.
That's so chaotic and doesn't actually hurt. Like, that's the kind of prank I like because it's so easy to fix it.
It is. It is. You just drag them back around.
Yeah. Do you ever reach that point where you missed the song you were sick of?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Because every now and then one of the kids will have a new song that is on repeat and I'm like, I missed the last one.
Yeah.
I was sick of it, but I liked it more.
It turns out that my favoritist, and I've had nearly 18 years of Horde songs as a parent.
Yeah.
My favorite song that I absolutely loathe is Brace Yourself, Baby Shark. It is the least offensive, annoying song when compared to the other songs that were...
Yeah. I don't know. I go hard with Baby Shark. I go hard with
My
Baby
children
Shark.
got to There's a Hole in the Bog. And I liked that song for a hot second.
Oh, this is old school Wiggles then.
Old school Wiggles.
Yeah.
They found Hole in the Bog. And then they always wanted to listen to Hole in the Bog. And this is back when they were 3-4 years old, where it was
I went to a Wiggles concert
just to let them than to fight them.
I had so much fun at the Wiggles show, just so you know.
We got to Hole in the Bog, and I think my eye still twitches all by itself. Like it struggles when Hole in the Bog comes on for any reason whatsoever. And I have never missed Baby Shark like I did when we were in the Hole in the Bog phase.
Yeah. See, I tend to, I would say 99% of the time, I can hop on board with whatever the thing is that my kids are obsessed with. But that 1% of the time, I am like, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But, no,
this is their childhood. This is their childhood.
Yeah.
This is their childhood. This is their childhood.
Yeah, no, my kids were really obsessed for a while. And that's always the hardest part is when all three of mine get obsessed with the same thing, because then I don't get any break from it. And they all became obsessed with this video game that is not, it has not come out yet, right? But it's like this, it's kind of this musical Disney vibe of a action game, and it has like the boss.
Those are all words that go together. Absolutely.
It's called Billy Bust Up, and like I got my kid like I subscribed to the Patreon for it, because then there's like this early access thing, and so I was like, I will get you this game because this is a way you could play it. We don't know when it's coming out. It's indie, but it is pretty cool. And my kids got obsessed with the songs from it. And one of the names of the songs is I've Had Enough of You. And so then it became my joke with them. I've had enough of this song. Please stop. I need a break. Can we listen to a different song? But I think that is one of the hard things too, is when you have the synchronicities with your kid. Like, we have this thing in common, but then it's like so different. And that's my artist kid is an incredible artist. Now, both of us are artists. Do we like to do the same art? Absolutely not.
Right.
Are we into the same kind of art? Absolutely not. But we can still bond over the art. But this kiddo who is teaching themselves how to animate and is doing an incredible job. And if you don't watch the video version of our show, several weeks ago, when Gwenna had tech issues, my kid animated Gwenna into the episode.
As we're recording this right now, we obviously can't see what the files will be. There is a not zero chance that you have just witnessed some of their animation, because we just had that tech glitch, and that I'm pretty sure my video stopped through some of my talking, which means we had to do the animation. As we record this, we don't know if it's going to happen. So I could be making things up, but.
Yeah. And that's the thing that my kiddo and I have had discussions about, because I am not a person who's really into animated things. I don't know if you are. It's just not really for me.
It's not my favorite flavor, no.
Not now and then a blockbuster film is like, I like this. But generally speaking, I'm just not really drawn to animation. But my kiddo is really into animation, and like the eye for detail. Like, my kiddo showed me that you can always tell in an animation what book they're about to pick up off the shelf, because it has this very slight discoloration. The rest of it will not move, but the part that's going to move, you can always tell. And I was like, whoa, right? Like, I'd never known that. And
now
so they always,
now I'm not going to be able to unsee it. Dang it.
You're
oldest
welcome.
child.
Yeah. But they always want to show me the shows they're into. And so I have this thing where it's like, you got to catch me in the right mood. And I've been honest with them about this too, because I don't want them to think like I'm avoiding the thing that they love and want to show me. But we've had conversations like, if I want to show you this thing and you're not in the mood to see it, is there any chance that you might even like it at all? No. And that goes both ways. And so, of course, as the parent, I will try to find the mood in a way that I wouldn't expect my child to. But generally, like, I'll watch an episode with you, but am I gonna be as obsessed with this series as you are? Probably not, but I can find things to appreciate about it. Even though this is never something I would watch on my own.
Well, and I also recommend, this is something that I do and it's worked really well, is meet them where you can. So yes, boundary. I will do this for you because it is important to you, and things that are important to you are therefore important to me, but I am never going to be at the same level as you are. But what I can do is weaponize my own tendencies. When my eldest got into cross country, I did not know anything about the sport. I didn't know anything about running. I didn't know what gear you needed. And she still is really into specifically cross-country running. And I'm not going to info dump here, but there is a distinct difference between cross-country and marathoning. And I know this because what I could do is I wasn't going to be able to go run with her. She is 23 years my junior. We are different body types. And also I hate running. I know this about myself.
And you have a bad knee, which, just comes in after you hit a certain age. You're going to have a knee that's worse.
Listen, I don't want to compress my disc. Okay. So I can't run with you. This isn't something that we can do together, but you know what I do really, 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 really well? I research things.
You are really good at that.
I spin down rabbit holes. I learn things. And what I started doing is I would listen to the things that she said and I would catalog. I don't know what that word is. Go find that word. Oh, okay. That's a common thing. Oh, okay. So that leads to this. And then I Wikipedia link until I find, hey, eldest child, let's go get some shoes. You need specific ones with this little air cushion in the heel because this famous runner dude said that revolutionized. And then this science over here showed how it impacts your ankle and how that connects to your knee. So we need to go get the air bubble shoes. That's what I did to meet my child, is I just weaponized my own tendency to over research stuff.
Yeah.
Until I found a way to help her and connect with her. And now we go running shoe shopping.
Yeah.
Not for my fat ass.
Well, and that's the way that I have really found a way to love the indie animation studio shows that my kid is obsessed with is through the fan art they create.
Yeah.
And so like I know all the characters and like I know the story because my kiddo is copy paste, not short on words. Just the whole plot. Like I know the whole thing. And for their birthday, which was, it's a big one, teenager.
Yeah.
I had been shopping with my sister-in-law who was looking for a gift, and we were at like FYE, which is so fun to like tell kids how that used to be a music store. And as we're going through the store, like
CD racks.
I'm just browsing, and then I see
tape racks.
this.
Let me make myself a little older here.
I see this box, this collectible box that is 100% a very niche TV show from this very indie studio that happened to get the show on Netflix. And I lose my mind in an FYE. Okay. Like I am so excited. I like run over to this thing and I'm like, there is no way they have the amazing digital circus collectible thing here. Like I lost it. Right. And I pick it up and I'm like, I was shaking. I was giddy. I was so excited because like, what were the chances of finding something like this? And especially in a
so
store?
Obscure. Yeah.
And so I purchased it and I was like so excited. The person at the cash wrap like was they're like, what is this? Because I couldn't contain my excitement. And then I gave it to my kid early because I was just so excited. So it's like there are ways to engage with the thing that is not for you, but you still love that your kid loves it.
Yeah. It's a challenge, but it's not an insurmountable one. But especially when you're looking at your 5, 6, 7-year-old, because yes, there are some kids that you can tell in those toddler years, ooh, you ain't me. Ooh, you got your other parents' genes more strongly than you got mine. All right. Sometimes you can tell when they're really little. But honestly, for most folks, 5, 6, 7 is when you really start to, you are not walking the same path as me. Ooh, we're not going to like the same things. Ooh, we might be opposite. I had figured out that my daughter and I have almost completely opposite tastes by the time she was 9. It didn't really hit. It didn't really impact anything, but by the time she was 9, I knew that we were pretty diverse in our own interests. Yeah. And I didn't know what to do about that. When you first figure out this kid is nothing like me, this kid is going to be into things that not only do I not like, I have openly shunned, teased, and ridiculed in my life. And this kid's into it. Oh, okay.
I mean, there's me before becoming a sports mom, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, my kid loves country music. I am not a country music fan. That boat missed me entirely. I'm not crapping on country music. I'm just saying I did not like it.
I went through a big country music phase.
Definitely teased it.
In my youth, I went through a big country music phase. But it's not for me now. Like, it depends. There is some country I do like, but
this being said, I do have to, before the internet attempts to have me eliminated, Dolly Parton is not who I am talking about when I say I don't like country music. Dolly Parton is our queen and our goddess.
For me, I don't like a lot of modern country music. It kind of depends because there's subgenres,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's kind of the thing though, is that when you have kids, it's like once they start to kind of become themselves, they're less your baby and more themselves. And you're like, I don't like this thing. How do I do this? Because I don't want them to think I don't like that. It is shocking how easy it is to find a way to love something about the thing your kid loves. And it doesn't mean, I guess not easy, but it's like surprising the way that you find the things that you end up loving about the thing your kid loves.
Well, and then sometimes it comes right back around because I was not a Minecraft fan. My eldest had a huge Minecraft phase. And yesterday I took my son's light switch plate off and put a Minecraft switch over his light switch. So now he can use the Minecraft leather? Words are hard. Lever. To turn his light on and off. He's got a Minecraft torch instead of, because all of my kids have flashlights in their room.
Minecraft is the one that all my kids like, and I have never found a way to enjoy it because I can't. I don't have like the visual acuity to tell what I'm looking at. Like you can tell me that this is this house and this is all this stuff, and I'm like, I will.
Okay.
I'll fake it. That's so cool. I could tell you put so much effort into that. I think I can't tell what I'm looking at. I don't know. My brain does not process what I'm looking at with Minecraft.
I have the whole thing, and this time I actually get to be in hero mode because with my oldest, we were learning it side by side. So it was we were walking together, going, "What's this? I don't know. You figure that out, and I'll figure this thing out over here." Now my son is into Minecraft, and I'm like, "You want me to build you a redstone roller coaster?" What? Yeah, no, I can do that. Come on. We're going to build a redstone roller coaster. Like, now I am the hero of Minecraft because I'm so good at I'm terrible at Minecraft, for the record. Yeah. For the record, I am terrible at Minecraft.
That is,
but to him, God level achieved.
Right. That is, I don't know. It's so interesting. The thing I love about having kids that have wildly different interests is the amount that I get to learn.
Yes.
Like there's this thing I've never been
the
exposed
amount I get to learn
before.
And then weirdly forget. I don't have to remember this thing forever. And there's a certain amount of relief in knowing that.
Yeah. It's just like, go on and tell me everything about this subject. I want to hear it. I love info
For the next 2 years, I'm going to know everything about Super Mario World. And go.
Yeah, right.
Oh, we're done with our Super Mario? Slate wiped. What's next?
Now, I'm going to totally have the worst segue ever because of who I am as a person, but I know we're going to be running low on our timer soon. And I did want to include an email from all of our summer episodes that we did, which was 2. I just made that sound like there was a bunch. There was 2, and we did want to hear things. And so I feel like throughout the summer, what my plan is that Gwenna is hearing about now is every episode throughout the summer, we will be including a summertime email. And so we're going to kick it off with this one that comes from, I didn't include the name or they didn't want their name included. I don't know. Sorry.
If you hear the words that you wrote, your email has been included.
So again, but to bring it back to the beginning of the episode, I'm managing the email. So sorry. My most sincere apologies. But I really liked this email.
For all of you going, can't Gwenna jump in to help? No, that would make it worse. Shockingly.
Yeah.
That would make it worse.
It would, because then we're going to both be in the same email inbox. It's going to be a whole thing.
It would be, one of us needs to control it. The other one stays out.
Yeah. So this email says that this summertime tradition comes from their sister. So she does Christmas in July. A very small select amount of Christmas decorations are brought out, but most of the decorations are created by the kids. Frozen hot chocolate, Christmas books, Christmas movies, cookie decorating using Oreos or other cookies, not requiring the use of the oven because it does get hot in the summer, and whatever else the kids want to do. This idea could easily be adjusted to fit other holiday practices as well. Basically, during the week, the kids cut out paper snowflakes, draw snowmen, build tree ornaments from popsicle sticks, pipe cleaners, and beads. All decorations are put up to create cheer. Holiday coloring books are available. The Grinch is played on repeat, and they have Christmas song dance parties, karaoke, and I believe that the kids are able to either purchase small trinkets or the kids make crafts to give as presents. It's a fun way for them to escape the summer heat waves without having to leave the house. I love that.
Adore that.
That sounds
I adore
so
that.
fun.
I do have to confess, we have been doing a version of that for several years now, and it always goes over really well. We do all of the above, although I had not considered using Oreos. Previous years, we had done the graham cracker gingerbread house, where you get the graham crackers and you dip them in the frosting and you build the house. We've done those. I hadn't thought of the Oreos. What we do that's slightly different, and it helps a bunch of when Christmas in July happens for us and when the kids go back to school. Our kids where we live go back to school around the middle of August.
Yeah.
So we use Christmas in July, and we throw Christmas in July on the 25th. The week around it is the Christmas week. We throw it on July 25th, and we don't get random presents and trinkets because we just don't need more stuff in the house. Yeah. We do, however, get school supplies. So all of their generic school supplies that aren't custom, like their crowns and their bottles of glue, that's just crowns and bottles of glue. There's nothing unique about those. Those get wrapped up like presents, and they unwrap them and they load up their backpacks or their little school boxes. And then to cap it off, we will go that afternoon, because obviously it's not a real holiday, so everything's still open, and we will pick out their backpack and their school box and their lunch box and folders and whatever custom things they get to pick out that stay with them. Yeah. And a lot of times we will also run over to the Burlington. We live in the Midwest South. Everything is the. the Burlington Coat Factory.
Or you take off the and then you just add an S, like Kroger's, Penny's.
Yes.
Yeah. Walmart's.
So anyway, we'll go to the Burlington and we'll pick up their, at the very least, what I call their transition jacket, the jacket that you need in the mornings, but will take off and needs to shove inside the backpack for the afternoon. Needs to be warm, but light. Yeah. And then we might also look at their winter coat, but living in Oklahoma, our winters are weird. So we don't necessarily get coats right at the beginning of the school year because we're not going to need them till like January.
Right. That makes sense. I've done like not a Christmas in July thing, but this did just make me remember. You remember back in 2020, like there was like this lockdown thing that happened.
Yeah, there was something about that.
Yeah, it was hard for like everybody.
Globally disastrous, incredibly depressive for pretty much everybody.
Yeah, and
a whole bunch of motherfuckers figured out they had ADHD. Yes, I did in fact just use my one curse word right there.
You actually cursed at the top of the episode. I just didn't point it out. It's okay though. It wasn't the F-bomb. This was your one F-bomb, so I'll give you that. So
right. I'm saving it too.
During that initial lockdown period, probably like a month in. You remember when it was like 2 weeks to slow the spread or something, and then it was like a month into lockdown, and we're all like, oh. One of my kids, for whatever reason, my middleest, who is, I don't know, 4 at the time, had made some sort of wish to have Santa come, or that we could have the joy of Christmas, something to that extent. And because like we went from doing things to just, I mean, you were there, you know what it was like.
Yeah, and bored in the house and in the house bored.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, you can make Christmas magic happen at any point.
And perfect use of free will right there. Did
I order some things, including candy canes and like some little trinkets, and then maybe our elf on the shelf showed up and, ding dong ditched our own house one random day. And that did happen because Christmas magic can make a big difference during the lulls. So maybe we do our own Christmas in July.
For those of you who maybe don't want to break out the Christmas decorations, there's 1,000,001 different ways. You can have fairies stop by. You can have house elves stop by. You can have any number of magical, whimsical creatures. You can have any number of magical, whimsical creatures stop by your house and add joy or chaos, depending on what it is you want to manage.
Why not both? That's what I think.
Thank you for listening to Childproof. We want to hear from you. Again, we're going to be reviewing summer activities all through the summer. Email us at the place where you email us, which is childproofmail@gmail.com.
Yes, Gwenna finally knows it. Childproofmail@gmail.com. And be sure to give us a like, subscribe, turn on notifications on YouTube at Childproof Podcast and on every other platform, including Spotify, where we do have video if you have not noticed that or seen it.
And whether you watch us on YouTube or Spotify or listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or any of the streaming services, leave us a rating and all the places. We're so serious, it matters.
And be sure to keep listening for when we finally announce the project we're working on.
No, it's coming. I promise.
It's coming very soon. And we actually have timelines now. It's not just one of those things where we're like, we're going to do this thing and then we don't do it.
Nope.
This is the thing that
wheels
we're
are
excited
rolling.
about. Yes.
Listen, and we told you we were going to come back when we left our old production company, and we did.
Yeah.
So just know that it's coming.
It is.
We're not going to leave you hanging.
And go check out Gwenna's newest book, The Soul's Guide to the After Death. It is available. You can get an ebook, you can get an audiobook, and you can go and pre-order Thinky Thoughts, which is coming out next year. That's another one of her new books. And probably sometime in the next few months, there's going to be another self-published one because Gwenna can't stop writing books. Our group chat is just Gwenna's new novellas, and I honestly love that for us.
Remember, sometimes our kids are the assholes.
And sometimes it's us.
It's almost always timers that don't let you finish stories
about
Alexander Hamilton.
I just wanted to talk about Benjamin Rush.